All right, welcome back to C Programming Skills using Replit. I'm Norman McIntyre, still on the food menu program. Now we're up to version 3. So make sure you've already done version 1, version 2. Now we're going to continue with version 3. This is going to allow the ordering. And just for simplicity, we have just a few items here. You can order an apple, a burger, corn on the cob, a drink, extras, and fries. And we're going to actually allow the user to enter the letters A, B, C, and so forth. And we're going to use what's called a switch statement to execute this. So let's focus on this next. You should be, at this point, before beginning this video, you should have watched the previous video and have your version up to version 2. In fact, I see we have a bug. Our version 2, we never incremented this number. We should have made this a 2, right, during that particular lesson. Of course, now we're going to work on version 3. So since it's on my mind, I'm going to go ahead and change this pound define to version 3. As a quick review, what it does right now before we make any changes, it says, do you want to see the specials? I'll say yes. And it shows the specials. And then we have this. And we got a subtle bug that it's not really a bug, but something we should improve on, but I'm going to ignore it right now. And you saw it right there, is if the user enters more than one character, we read multiple characters. For right now, we're going to ignore that, and we're just going to assume you enter like a single character for that and a single character for this. And what we want to do now is, for version 3, is handle the actual ordering process. And like many things, there's different ways we can do this, but here's how we're going to do it for this particular one. I'm going to do something up here that you try to do this a minimum number of times, but there are times it makes sense. I'm not saying this is the best way to do it, but it is the way we're going to do it for this particular program. And that is, we're going to have the items we can order, how many of each one. So items in the order. So in other words, when you place an order, we're going to have an integer, I'll say num apples, right? You're going to have some number of apples that you're going to order. And we're going to have another integer, we're going to have some number of burgers that we're going to order. Integer number, I'll say corn on the cob that we're going to order, I'll just say corn. We'll have integer num, the num drinks. We're going to have an integer, the num extras, whatever that is, kind of just a placeholder. And finally, we're going to have an integer, the num fries. Now, these are called global variables. And why do I call them global variables? It means these variables, these boxes, can be accessed from anywhere in the program. That's why they're global. They're global throughout, think it throughout this file in our case. Compared to, remember when we had this int c right here, it was only accessed within this function. And this is typically, when you create variables, typically they're inside a function, and when they're declared inside a function, they are only accessed inside a function. Now it turns out all of these, since they're global variables, get initialized to 0. So when your program loads, they already have the value of 0. However, for the sake of this demonstration, I'm going to explicitly set them to 0 as well. So it'll just kind of be a reminder to you that when the program loads in, you don't have anything in any of these orders at that point. All right. Now, the other thing I'm going to do is actually copy all of these into my buffer. So I'll do an edit copy and put those into your buffer, and you'll see why here in a moment. So for our version 3, when we think about what we want to do, we want to, when we get down here, actually handle the order, right? We actually want to handle, or really we want to take the order. And so what I'm going to do right here, I'm going to say take the order. And of course, like we do oftentimes, I'll just say take the order. And of course, that means we've got to have this function take the order. Typically, I copy that into my buffer, but I just copied those others into my buffer, so I won't do it right now. But I'll come over here and say, not going to return anything, take the order. Nothing going in or to here, but that's going to be what we're going to implement next. Now, when we think about how this is going to work, we want to prompt the user for here's the choices, and then let the user determine what those choices are. And we want to keep doing that over and over and over until the user says they're done. Okay, so in other words, what we want to do is while, and this is something new, we'll say while taking order. So while we're taking the order, what we want to do is display menu, read choice, and if the choice is all done, then exit. Or I say then return. Otherwise, we're just going to keep doing this over and over and over and over. So while taking order. So what we could do is say, let's have a integer. I'll say taking order, and it equals true. Remember, a 1 is true, a 0 is false. Now we're going to talk about this much more in the next class, the next lesson. But I'm going to say while taking order is exactly equal to 1. Okay, and actually what some people do, and I'm going to reverse it, a lot of people will code it like this, while 1 equals taking order. And this is actually the better way to do it, because suppose you accidentally left out the 2 equals. Notice how you're getting an error on this. It lets you know you have an error. Whereas if we did it like this, taking order equals 1, we're getting a warning here, but if you ignored that, right, it'd still let you get by. So the message here is while 1 equals to taking order. In other words, as long as this is 1, we're going to keep taking the order. Now again, we will come back in the next lesson. I'm going to talk much more about these while loops, where they're called looping statements. But for right now, we want to display the menu. So I'm going to say display menu. So we'll do that. Then we're going to read your choice. So I'll say read choice. I'll just, let's see, so display the menu, read the choice, and then if the choice is all done, return. So we'll say integer choice equals read choice, and then we'll say if choice equals to, and actually, you know, thinking about it, we could have, let's do this. We will, and remember, part of my goal here is to show you as you're writing code, you'll come to sections of the code where you'll think about, well, do I want to do it this way or do I want to do it another way? And it's okay to try different things and think about different things. And it's even okay to do this. Say, you know what, if I'm not quite sure yet, maybe I'll just say read the choice, and then I'll say, you know, I'm going to come in here and do, and this is new to us, I'm going to do a switch statement based on the choice, and whatever the choice is, and we'll cover those, I'm going to have a default choice, and the default choice I'll say for right now, return. Okay, so my default choice, my default colon is simply to return. And we'll do this, let's say case, suppose you entered the letter A, we'll say to do, we need to do some things for that, and then we're going to break out of this. And what break says is break out of this switch statement and go around and do this again. All right. So for right now, just for simplicity, I'm going to say choice equals B. So we know we don't take that choice, and that means we will return. And for the display menu, this is the first time in the course where we have one function actually calling another function. And so for the display menu, I'll say, well, let's have a void display menu. And for display menu, we'll just do a put string and say menu options, and we'll say put string A for apple, B for the burger, we'll say C for, we'll just say corn, D for drink, E for extra, and notice how I'm running out of room here. What I can actually do is, and just to make this clear, I'll say, well, I'd like to extend this string onto the next line. So I'm going to say corn, we have a drink, we have extra, and we have fries. So F was fries. Notice how this string, notice the open and closing double quotes, gets combined with this string. So this will display the menu. And you know what? Just for purposes here, we'll also put a Q, means quit. So in other words, we're done with everything. And in fact, you could even say this. I'm going to say, let's put the case Q for quit, and we're going to return from our code. So if the case is Q, if you enter Q, you return. And the default will just say put string, please enter menu choice. Now we've written a bunch of code, and probably it's time to do some testing on it. Remember, you can pause the video, you can double check. Let's run it though and see where we're at. Oh, got us an error here. There we are, the semicolon missing, right? So my code's just like yours. I'm sure at times you'll have a semicolon missing. Let's run it again. Okay, do you want to see today's specials? Yes. Is this a takeout or delivery? Let's say it's a delivery. Whoa, look at all those. What's happening to our program? It's literally just running and running and running. I mean, what's happening? This is fantastic. This is the first time we've seen a program that's in what's called a tight loop. It's running forever printing this out. Not what we wanted, right? Not what we wanted at all. In fact, remember right here where we said the choice equals, and we wanted to read your choice? Well, what we really wanted to do, instead of hard coding it to a B, we wanted to do a get char. We wanted to get the char. Now we still have a bug here, but bear with me. We'll see what we got. So I'll click on run. Let me tell you what, let me clear my screen. I'll click on stop, clear my screen, click on run. Yes, take out, handle takeout, menu option. Hey, we got our menu option. And then it says, please enter a menu choice. But notice it came right back around. This please enter a menu choice means we entered something incorrectly. I wonder if it's that new line character pressing the enter key. Do we still have that issue? And indeed we do. We need to do the following. Anytime we do a get char, we need to also do another get char. This will eat the new line, right? I'll say the same thing. Eat the return/enter key, because that's what's on your keyboard. Depending on which keyboard you have, it'll either say return or enter. So that will eat that. I'll click on stop, click on run. Yes, take out, to do, menu. So here's our menu options. Let's say we're going to do a apple. Then it says we'll do a B for burger. Then we'll do a D for a drink. And let's do Q for quit. Now, when we did Q for quit, what we were expecting is we should have quit. So something's not right here. Click on stop. And by the way, a lot of your time as a developer is just what we're seeing here, that you try things and it's not working like you think. And so you add debug statements. In this case, after we get our choice, let's do a printf and say choice %d, and let's do a %c, because we know it's good to show both of those. So we'll say show choice. So show the choice and show the choice. So show it 2 times. Let's run it again. No, we don't care about the specials. We'll say take out. And notice we come through here. We got this problem again. Where did this come from? Well, remember when we were doing this takeout or delivery, we actually forgot to eat that one. I purposely set this up like that so you'd see as you're developing your code, you may need to go back to a previous version. In this case, it was version 2, where we left out, where we did this takeout. So go down to where we did the determine takeout or delivery. And our determine takeout or delivery, notice right here when we did the get char and we printed it out, we should have also eaten that carriage return. So get char, eat the return/enter key. And again, I know I keep saying this, but you can pause the video and check your code at any point. Let's do this. Let's click on stop, click on run. No, we don't want to see the specials. Is this takeout? Yep, it's takeout. Okay, here's our menu options. Let's do an apple. Cool. Let's do a burger. Cool. Let's do a Q for quit. Hey, we quit our program. All right. Now, since this video is getting a little long, I'm going to actually break it up into 2 parts. One thing I realized, although we've got this code here, let me scroll back. Although we've got take the order, the thing I'm not doing yet is keeping a track of what values, right, you're actually ordering. And I don't know. I guess the video, we'll just make this video a little longer than the others. Go ahead and copy these. We're so close. Go ahead and copy these right into your buffer. What we want to do is increment these values as you're making your choices. So I'm going to come back here. Bear with me. And I'm going to actually do this. I'm going to do a /* // We know from previous videos this is a comment, and I'm going to paste these here. Why am I doing this? It just gives me a place I can copy, and I know that when you do this switch, when you switch on character A, I'm going to say take the num apples ++. In other words, increment the number of apples. Break says break out of this switch statement. Let's do a case B. So case, if you entered character B, then we want the num burgers ++, and then break out of that, right? If you have the case B. How about if you have case C? Well, case C is the corn. And just to show you different coding styles, you could actually do like this. Well, I think for ease of learning, we will keep it like this for now. We'll just focus. So the corn ++ means you've added one to it, you've incremented. Break out of that. Case, wonder if you entered a D, then the num drinks ++, break out of that. How about if you had case E, this is the extras. So num extras ++, the extras ++, break out of that. And last case, the good old fries, the num fries, and break out of that. Of course, if you have the case Q, we just return from this function. And the default, we just say, please enter a menu choice. Wow, look at that. Here's our switch statement. Now, I would recommend you pause the video, you look at this, you make sure you understand what's happening here. But check this out. When we run it, don't want to look at the specials. This will be a delivery. I'll do an apple, I'll do a burger, and I'll do a quit. Now, although we don't know it at this point, because that's going to be the next part, version 4 of our program, is we will then give a summary of how many items you've ordered. Anyway, this video is getting a little long, but definitely spend a lot of time on it. This is super cool, and we've got us, a simple menu program, and we can say how many of each item we're ordering. Stone, thanks for making it this far. The next version, we will make it even better. So more to come. Thanks as always. I'm Norman McIntyre. Thanks for watching.